Okay, we're gonna do something a little different here. Um, I've been asked to provide PowerPoints, to provide some sort of online class for our special needs judo program. Um, my name is Brian Money. I'm with the Riverside Youth Judo Club. We are a police activities league. Uh, we're, as far as I know, the largest USJA club, certified club in the country. Right now, we have about 315 currently registered USJA members, and that's right here in the middle of the Corona pandemic, where we've lost several folks. But anyhow, this is a program we started as a club. We started our actual club brand new with 6 students in about 2012. We brought our first special needs student to our club in about 2013. And with that student came a behavioral therapist, what we call a board certified behavioral analyst, gentleman in our club by the name of Pedro Villa Jr. He is an absolute brilliant therapist. I've never experienced anything like the way he interacts with our special needs kids. And we're so fortunate to have him. So it all kind of started with him. He brings our first kid with autism spectrum disorder, and we started seeing something kind of unique. First of all, the kid was averted to touch. Did not like to be touched. Once he gained some comfort, all of a sudden, he took to judo like a duck in water. I don't know how to explain it. But we have found that judo is amazingly beneficial and therapeutic to our kids with special needs. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we invented the wheel, because we did not. Our friends in Europe are 25 years ahead of us, folks. We got Tycho van der Werf in the Netherlands, Bob Lefevre, James Mulroy from Ireland. These guys are amazing, and they know so much about special needs judo. And again, have been doing it for past 25 years. They are so far ahead of us. We at the Riverside Youth Judo Club have been fighting for this for years. It's been a little bit of an uphill battle. But just recently, I found that people are starting to gain an interest in this. So this is going to be about the USJA Special Needs Judo program. Certainly, we have friends and partners with the USJF and USA Judo. But this is something that we have actually created an actual certification through the USJA. We have a special needs coach, level 1, level 2, and level 3. We've put on, I think, 2 classes. Our third was canceled because of the COVID crisis. But the first 2 just went amazingly well, and people were really interested in it. And what we teach at this class, and the reason I will not send out a PowerPoint or some online class so you could do this, is because it is so darn important. And our kids are so just fragile in some cases, but important to us that we don't want this program to fail. Let us kind of control it for a little bit. We're getting it out there. We're going to start finding ways to get it out to other states. A lot of the folks have come from other parts of the country to come out and sit in this room I'm in right now and listen to us speak. So anyhow, it is a formal certification level with USJA. We have 3 instructors. Myself, again, I'm just the program director for the club. We have Pedro Villa Jr., who's kind of the heart of the program, in that he knows more about this stuff than probably anybody can. And he's the one that's kind of helped create and mold the program as it goes on. And then we have Sensei Scott Gallus from Antelope Valley Judo. Sensei Scott is not only an international B referee, but he is the only certified special needs judo referee, world judo referee, I should say. When we all went to Netherlands in 2018, we took the very first U.S. team ever special needs team to the World Special Needs Judo Games. Sensei Scott was able to get certified as a world's special needs judo ref out there. So we're very fortunate. You know, these guys know a lot about this stuff. So these are the people that are putting on the classes. The first class is an 8-hour class. Coach level 1, special needs coach level 1 is an 8-hour class. Pretty much 4 or 5 hours in this classroom. We kind of talk about, you know, the general idea of special needs judo, kind of what to look for, some of the different special needs you may accompany, you may actually see, some of the safety aspects of it. Liability is a big deal. We cover that quite intensively. The last part of the day, about the last 3 hours, we get about anywhere from 10 to 15 of our special needs kids. And we bring them right into the club, right across the street from this room. And everyone throws their gi on, and you interact and you work with these kids so you can see how amazing they are. They don't break, and different methods that we use to help them learn judo. So it's actually really neat, very exciting. I think personally it's some of the most purest form of judo you'll ever see, because it's not about look at me, look at me. It's not about trophies and medals, and I understand that's important, but these people just want to be included. These amazing kids just want to be part of something. And to bring them into judo and watch them grow, and it helps society, it helps the community, because these people become more interactive in the community. They become more able to interact in the community. You can't get any better than that. So we have that, like I said, the 3 certification levels. Level 1, which is your basic level. You need to get that one done, and I would expect the people who take that class go back to their club and maybe bring in 1 or 2 or 3 special needs students, start working with them. Level 2, we have not put on the class, but we have a outline for it. It's going to be a little more intensive. We're looking at basically maybe a 16-hour 2-day class, and first day of that is going to be more classroom, a lot of classroom. Second part of it is going to be more on the mat type stuff. And then the coach level 3, that's going to be pretty darn intensive. There's a online course you could take for BCBA, Board Certified Behavioral Analyst, or I'm sorry, not that, Registered Behavioral Technician. That's kind of the entry level of behavioral therapy. So a registered behavioral technician, it's an online course. We're going to ask that you take that course so that you have a really great understanding of it, and that'll basically help certify you as a 3. Some of the things we've already talked about, the 3 people. Yeah, Riverside Youth Judo Club right now, we're controlling this, folks. Sorry. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that so that we don't have any injuries, so that this thing does not get taken down before it really gets any legs. There are rules to special needs judo. The world's special needs judo rules are the ones we follow. Why? Because they've been doing it for 25 years. They have it handled. They have it managed. Oftentimes, we over here, we decide to kind of turn it into something else. Well, we're going to allow this, but we won't allow this. No. If you want a USJA certification, you're going to have to go through this class. I mean, there's nothing that would prevent you from bringing in special needs kids. I would just tell you, please be so darn careful. So the special needs judo rules, generally, sorry, let me just make sure I don't miss anything. No chokes. Special needs judo, no chokes, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that, for example, we have a black belt in our club who's profoundly deaf, and he's on the autism spectrum. Let me tell you, he is amazing. He is absolutely amazing, but he wasn't so amazing at first. I mean, he's an amazing young man. but his judo struggled and his social interaction struggled. But through the years, he gained more confidence and ability. And you know, we sent him to New York Summer Nationals and put him in the typical black belt pool. And I guess he wiped out all 6 black belts there. Not too much of a problem. He did that in a typical category, allowed chokes, arm bars, all of those things. But we've monitored this young man over the years, and we make sure his dad's coaching him. His dad's just phenomenal. And everything worked out, so it's very safe. But generally, we don't want our special needs kids choking. Why? There's a few reasons why. They may not understand the limits of it. Also, many special needs kids do have issues with their necks and such. Third, there can be a delay. What that means is I have a special needs kid choking another kid, you know, whatever it may be, let's say Kurieri Jime. As I'm in a Kurieri Jime, and then the Shinpan comes up to him, Mate! It will take 2 or 3 seconds, mostly, it will take 2 or 3 seconds for this young person to go, oh, he said mate, and then stop. So there's a delay. Not a delay from intelligence, but a delay in response. So it's just not safe, and we don't allow it. Same reason for arm bars, no arm bars. So here's what I worry about, like with the BJJ folks. You know, they have their 5-year-olds in some cases choking and arm barring. Okay, we can't do that with our special needs folks. We cannot. We're going to get someone hurt, and it could be the uke or the tori could be the one getting hurt. We want to make sure that this is safe. No sutemiwaza, no sacrifices. We just cannot allow it. It's too dynamic of a technique for our special needs folks. Again, if we ever get that special needs person talking about the different levels, level 5 being the lowest functioning, the one that really needs a lot of help, all the way up to level 1. Level 1 is the highest functioning, probably be able to compete against dang near regular Olympians, I hate to say it. And I've seen some level 1 special needs folks that could hold their own with some of these folks who've competed in the Olympics, typical Olympics. You may have a special needs competitor that can compete typically, but we need to make sure that everyone is aware of that, you know, because it's not fair to if we have a high functioning level 1 player and maybe the other person, you know, thinks, oh, well, I can't choke them. Well, no, I mean, as long as everyone agrees on it, we're good. But generally, no chokes, no arm bars, no sotemiwaza, nothing ever around the neck. So think about your standard kesagatame in a pin. You know, your arm, if you're doing right side, right arm's around the neck, you know, around the scarf. Things like, I'm having a brain fade right now, but any of the around the neck technique, hip throws, instead of like an ogoshi around, koshiguruma. Koshiguruma around the neck, not permitted with special needs. Again, the neck is fragile. And especially with our folks with Down syndrome, they have very, very fragile cervical areas in their necks. We just can't risk that, okay? So these are just some of the basic rules. What we're really hoping for is that this starts getting a buy-in. Like I said, I'm hoping you guys will realize that right now we're the ones, I hate to say it, we're the ones that kind of really got into this. We jumped into it both feet, and we've embraced it. I don't know any other clubs in the United States that have 100 special needs players. I think we're the only ones. Most of the European clubs don't have that many. But along with our 100 special needs, we have 100 typical kids. So really good competitors, some of them fairly high level. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, we have Olympic hopefuls. Of course we don't. You know, we're a local club. If I ever had someone that I thought was ready for for that sort of transition, I would find someone for them to train with. We also have about 100 at-risk kids. These are kids that have tough backgrounds. Some of them have been in gangs, some of them have been in trouble. Some of them have had terrible things happen to them and their families. So we have all these kids working together. And I guarantee you that if any one of my special needs kids got bullied or picked on in front of any one of my typical or at-risk kids, that challenge will be met, okay, appropriately. Again, please no freelancing, okay? Let's keep this safe. Someone wants to open up a special needs BJJ club, that's awesome, but look for guidance. If you don't want to come to us, go talk to some of the European folks. They're brilliant at this. They will teach you. Sensei Roger Berger in Sweden, amazing. He comes out and he visits us all the time. And he does both jujutsu in his correct pronunciation and judo. And he could tell you all about it. And it's really amazing. But we just don't want people going out there, oh yeah, my cousin's uncle's brother's sister is took a therapy class at community college, so he or she is qualified to tell us how to handle this. No, I think you're asking for trouble. So we're hoping that you guys will embrace this. I did have a question come up, and I'll answer it before I close here. Someone said, is there a one-size-fits-all? No, of course not. There is no one-size-fits-all for special needs judo. That's why we have 5 levels. Level 5, the lowest functioning level. This person, we have kids in wheelchairs, okay? So all they could really do is maybe kumikata exercises, a little bit of pulling and such. Level 4, yeah, they need a lot of help, but they might be able to participate in like some playful light randori. Level 3, starting to get more competitive. Certainly they may need some help. Maybe prompting and throws and such and what to do. Level 2, it starts getting real, okay? Level 2, these kids are darn good. And we may have all sorts of different kids in this group. You could have kids with autism spectrum disorder, intellectual disability, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, all sorts of different disabilities, and they could actually compete in level 2. Level 1, that's where it's just crazy. I mean, I've watched some of these kids on level 1 and went, oh my gosh, I wouldn't last two seconds out there with these guys. So very, very high levels. There is no one size fits all, just like your regular students. Okay, you have this student over here who's just phenomenal, amazing, and pours everything into it. And then you have this other student over here that his parents have to bring him in kicking and screaming. That's okay. Judo is supposed to be a positive thing. We want these kids coming in and gaining some positivity out of it, okay? So there is no one size fits all. And we would explain how to interact with each one of these students during the level 1 coach certification. Whether it be one-on-one, and we could tell you ways to do that, or what we try to do is we actually try to bring our special needs kids into our mainstream class. It's very important because that's when you really start seeing them grow. So anyhow, if you want more information about when our next level 1 coach certification is, you could email me. My email address is bmoney@riversideca.gov. bmoney@riversideca.gov. And I'll try to get you information. We have to wait until the pandemic crisis is over, obviously, but we do want to get right back on track and start getting folks certified. All right? Thank you.